Hello, welcome to Thanks Academy, the podcast where we watch all the best picture winners of all time in random order with random friends. And the random order thing has to be true because this is the 52nd episode and we are watching the first ever winner called Wings. And I am here with Asaf Ronen.
Hi.
Yeah.
Wow, very excited about this.
Really drew the shortest, I don't know if it's the shortest stick, what's the oldest stick?
The oldest stick. The stick that preceded all other sticks.
Yes, the original stick made by God in Genesis 1:1 has been drawn, and here we are to try to figure out if it's any good or entertaining at all.
Let's see if it holds up.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's problematic. There was a lot of problematic movies in the 20s.
I would assume so. There's a lot of problematic everything in the 1920s. But what's fun, usually it's a lot of fun to like say, is this going to hold up? Because it's like some classic from the 80s that everybody knows but doesn't like necessarily watch all the time, and then they all end up being awful.
Yeah.
This I have like zero preconceptions about. I've seen a couple movies. I don't even know if this is silent or not.
I don't know either. I feel like it is. I feel like
it wouldn't have to be.
I don't remember when Jazz Singer was the first silent movie.
I believe Talkies came out in the 20s. So
right. But even then, you would have had both silence and
right.
Talkies up for awards and stuff. So this is one of those movies that I would have never thought to watch.
Me neither.
Like you're the only reason I'm watching this movie. But I'm excited for it.
A lot of people think the Academy Awards started 10 years later. Because it seems like 39, okay, that's Gone with the Wind, that's Wizard of Oz.
That's the really big year.
That's like, okay, there's some movies. That Casablanca was right around there the year after. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, that's when we started awarding movies with things. No, there's this whole decade of... And really good movies. All the 1930s winners that we've watched, which have definitely been Talkies, have been amazing.
Right.
Like, with one exception. So... There's a chance this will be good.
Well, we'll see, because...
Should I get your hopes up?
Narrative films are like started in the 1910s. Great Train Robbery, Trip to the Moon. I've seen those.
Okay.
So it's still fairly new as a storytelling medium.
Right.
And they're going to try to tell us a story for two and a half hours.
Are you like a film person, like a scholar person? Or
I'm a liberal arts version of a cinephile. Like, I've seen a bunch of stuff from across... So, like, I can't say that I really know in-depth about movies. I just kind of know a little bit from all over.
Okay.
And I've done, like, film study courses in college and stuff. And that's where I saw a lot of these older... early century films.
Because that's me, too. And that's why... I know my 20s silence, like mostly through like watching all the German expressionists. I've seen at least parts of Metropolis, if not sat all the way through it. But like Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, Nosferatu, like I love all those.
Yeah,
and they're genuinely entertaining for what they are. And I've seen a bunch of Buster Keaton and a bunch of Charlie Chaplin and all that. This is a whole other thing. The only thing I know about it is that Clara Bow is in it, and she is the fucking biggest star in the world at this time.
Yeah.
So this is like watching a Julia Roberts movie or a Marilyn Monroe movie for its era.
Wasn't Clara Bow one of the United Artists?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I know they're all like, this is studio time for sure. So I don't know if she was like UA. We'll find out when we see the opening studio, right?
Yeah.
And then I know Wings, I'm assuming it's about World War One. That's just my like assumption.
Okay.
Because it sounds like something about pilots.
It's about pilots. I know that.
And World War II hadn't happened yet.
Right.
So it couldn't be about those pilots.
Yeah.
So I guess this is like Red Baron shit.
All right.
Which I only know from fucking Snoopy. And like, you know, general history knowledge.
Yeah.
But, okay, so if I have to put you on the spot, I'm assuming you know as little as I do.
Yes.
I just gave you information, it seems like.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think the plot of Wings is going to be?
Well, I think the war thing is right.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a romance at the center of it. Guy goes off to war kind of thing.
Okay.
It's 2.5 hours, so I can't imagine how much of that takes
it's a little
place.
Intimidating.
Like, I feel like there's going to be a bunch of chapters. I feel like there's going to be this thing, romance, then the chapter going off to the war, something happens in the war, changes him irreparably. I don't know, but that might be too...
So you think we're going to get it before and after the war?
I feel like yes.
I feel like with 2.5 hours, it can't just be one side of it. Right?
Yeah, I can't imagine.
I think it's going to be focused on her, because she's the star. This is a bold choice.
Right, we don't even know who the guy is.
It's the 1920s, and they didn't really write stories about women. But I'm going to guess that it was really more focused on her journey staying at home. Okay. I think.
All right.
Because, like, special effect, like, could they do flying? I don't think we're getting, like, Top Gun action.
No, but there's going to be a lot of stock footage of airplanes.
Yeah,
a lot of stock footage.
A lot of just romance and, like, getting to know them. Kind of like a Goodfellas arc from her, like, early adulthood to whatever happens at the end. Okay. Probably marriage and a baby.
All right.
All right, let's watch fucking Wings.
Let's watch Wings.
The Simpsons. I knew it was in black and white, but so far it's just in black.
Yes.
Just troubling.
But this might be an overture.
Without like an overture title card?
Early movies might have had an overture. That's what it feels like.
It's kind of sad when you can't tell the difference. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Can't tell the difference between the movie playing and a technical difficulty. You were right. It was an overture.
Yeah.
So, Paramount claims it's them, but who does that originally mean? Is that UA?
No, I don't know. But it said 100 years, so that's...
Right. Well, we get to go through all the old Paramount logos. No wonder this is 2.5 hours long.
20 minutes, just logos.
Yep. Well, it's getting exciting. They're getting pretty old.
It's nice. They're taking us back through time right now. It's like...
Mm-hmm. Oof. I don't know what year that was, but focus.
The mountain's getting smaller and smaller.
Or are we getting closer and closer? I can't tell. It's getting fuzzier and fuzzier, too.
Okay. In the moment of truth, we're going to see if this is a silent movie or not.
We get one more Paramount logo. Hey, we're already up in the air.
That is clearly a model plane.
Yep.
On a string.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
This score is very World War II patriotic sounding. Or like a lighter John Williams. Hey, a woman wrote it. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, wow. So this has hopes of being less problematic than I thought it might be. Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. They gave us just credits with no actors. There's the actors. Okay, Charles Rogers is our dude. His name is Jack, of course.
Oh, but look, Gary Cooper is in the lower credits.
Yeah. A young, probably mustacheless Gary Cooper.
Gunboat Smith.
Ooh,
I love that there's an actor named Gunboat Smith.
Okay, here we go. On June 12th, 1927, in Washington, Colonel Charles A. Lindbergh paid simple tribute to those who fell in the war. In that time, he said, feats were performed and deeds accomplished which were far greater than any peace accomplishments of aviation. There's gonna be more of this? I hope it's a silent movie. I'm not reading all the cards.
Well, good. To those young warriors of the sky whose wings are folded about them forever, this picture is reverentially dedicated.
Okay.
Reverently.
A small town, 1917, youth, and the dreams of youth. Okay. It's a silent movie. I can already tell just from the score.
Yes. It's going to be non-stop scoring.
Yep.
So good luck on the edit of this podcast episode.
Oh my god. Well, we saw a butt. That's pretty...
Oh, young dreamer.
Okay. So our hero wants to fly.
Yes.
I wonder if this movie was like a big budget, popular movie because just getting in an airplane was impossible back then. So like, if they managed to shoot from there.
Yeah, outdoor shots in general.
Yep.
Because at this point, the cameras are still huge.
They're enormous. Right, he's fixing the Model T.
That doesn't look like fixing. That looks like taking it apart.
Once Jack had picked her out of the bonfire, and sometimes he regrets it. There's Clairbeau. Holding up a pair of knickers. Well, we've already introduced the boy and the girl. I feel like this movie's got to be short.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fun game I play with movies this old.
Mm-hmm.
Is anytime you see an old person in it, they were born during the Civil War.
Ha!
We've got our Randy Quaid character here. Lovable goofball. Herman Schwimpf!
It's a fine name to fight the Kaiser with.
Are you saying he's too much of a crowd to sign up?
If I had my way, I'd throw all you Dutchmen in the coop.
Wow. Maybe. Well,
I like that even the dialogue that was printed was broken English.
He got a tattoo of Stars and Stripes Forever on his bicep because that's the kind of overcompensation America expects of its immigrants.
And Danny Kaye joined the army.
He does look like Danny Kaye. Did he just take his pants off?
Yes.
He could wait till he got in the exam room.
Yep, Cadet White was Gary Cooper.
Okay.
I called it.
You got a better eye than I do. What? Holy shit. Plane crash.
Did they just kill Gary Cooper?
They just killed Gary Cooper just so we figured out who it was.
Yeah.
Oh my god. They just collided midair. That's some fucking... No wonder they need to be in school.
Yeah.
That's terrible. You know how hard that is to do?
So far, this whole sequence is longer than all the character development combined. Yeah. It's like the 1920s version of Fast and the Furious.
That's exactly what this is.
They're setting us up for some tragedy.
Oh, yeah. Can't have white people playing jazz music without tragedy following quickly behind.
Boy, Jack's a really bad shot.
Yeah.
What?
Whoa.
He shot the tail gunner.
Tail gunner just smashed a blood pack on his forehead.
So, okay.
You don't always have to shoot the plane. You can just kill the people flying it. I guess that's the same thing.
He's killed all three people on the plane.
Yep.
Didn't do much damage to the plane itself.
Plane will get damaged here.
Landed on Schwinn.
Oh, no. Peasants! Peasants are happy too.
Hooray! Scrap metal for days!
And boobs.
Yes.
It's just not much else to say about that.
Butt shots and cleavage shots. Awesome.
That's one way to put all this. Yeah. Whoa. How did they do this? Was that lesbians? Hold on. Hold on. That was lesbians.
There were lesbians in that?
Hold on. I'm so sorry. I know it's a long movie, but...
No. Yeah.
That... I don't want to go back too far. Just from the beginning of this tracking shot.
Oh,
Shit.
that was way too far. Okay.
I also just kind of
Add
wanted
the
to see the
filet
butts and the
bourgeois.
boobs again.
Good, yeah.
Nice kill, too, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, she's stealing his decoration, though. Like, I guess she can do whatever she wants. Okay, first of all, this tracking shot's really impressive. It's kind of Scorsese-ish. Alright. Girl, guy. Right there. That's... Right? That's
totally.
Lesbians! In 1928! I love it.
Incredible.
I love it. Oh. Alright, well, I'm a fan of this movie for good now. Jack, you're not a big guy. You can't really handle too much champagne.
All we need now is little pink elephants to show up.
I hope so.
Now, wouldn't it be funny if this old woman is Gunboat Smith? And Gunboat Smith as the ladies' room attendant.
Oh, just giving her that timeless advice to whore it up if you want to catch a man.
Here's our Grease moment.
Yep.
Oh, of course.
Just go shopping in the
this ladies' room
closet. Oh my god!
happens to be attached
Put
to a
on
whole
one of the
full
dancers'
dressing room.
dresses. No big deal. It's so shiny. He'll have to notice you.
Even a drunk man notices shiny things.
I don't know what this is, but you have to wear it too. So wait, is the moral of this story nobody likes a woman in uniform? Because I disagree. Whoa, Clarabelle. Whoa, Clarabelle.
Yeah. She's showing off some goods here.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't want him to see. He's passed out.
He's passed out, but by all means,
let
be
the
modest
camera-
in your changing.
Let the camera see everything.
I mean, this is kind of salacious for the time.
Now I know why
She's taking off.
Damn.
Taking off stockings and all that stuff.
Yeah. Whoa. She was just full on topless there.
Was she?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't really see much, but she was. That'd be awesome if Dave, like, single-handedly takes out the entire German Air Force and then lands safely and goes back home.
That's it. I guess I didn't need that lucky bear after all. Roll credits.
David, the real hero. And he ends up with Mary. But he can't, because Jack wants her too. Jack's a greedy asshole.
Yep. Jack's just useless.
Yeah. What's he done? He's taken down one bomber.
After several passes.
Yeah.
One large, slow bomber.
Meanwhile, David's literally taking out the entire squadron by himself.
Germans are running away because of David.
The most famous German fighter pilot recognized Gain and left him alone. Yeah, that's how good Jack is. They send him after the balloons. The large, slow, unsteerable, inflatable balloons. That's your job, Jack.
Balloons where they're just hanging, drinking beers on the balloon.
Yeah.
Because they're so far from the fight.
Okay, well... Yeah, but they jumped out of it, so... I guess... the hydrogen was quite a loss, devastating loss for the German army. Like, they're taking a lot of care to show us that all the Germans have jumped to safety before he shoots them down. So he's not even inflicting any casualties.
Yeah. I guess focus groups were just not comfortable with seeing Germans die.
I just love that David's taking out the Air Force while Jack is doing some mild property damage. Yeah, he's gonna want another medal for that bullshit, isn't he?
Yeah, Jack, celebrate that. You shot 2 balloons. That's great.
That's literally level 1 of Duck Hunt or something.
That's a carnival game.
Try it.
Here's your bear. Here's a lucky bear.
Yeah. You can have that too, since David gave up everything for you.
Yes. Just take everything that David has. The glory, the woman.
He's looking around like, I can't see David. Well, you're in a cloud. You can't see shit. He looked around for 5 seconds. Meanwhile, his buddy still needs backup and is dealing with 2 enemies.
Jack is a garbage human.
Jack! Motherfucker, I'm gonna go home.
Jack, you motherfucker.
Okay, so David got another one. Or was that David?
Yeah, that's David that just got shot.
Damn.
In the shoulder.
I was honestly rooting for him. I thought there was a chance that this weird movie would let him live.
No, yeah, they're just... They've been foreshadowing this the whole fucking movie.
Alright, let's see how his model plane crashes. Okay, that's not a model plane.
No, yeah, that's a real one.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
fine.
walking. Survived the crash.
Yeah.
But of course it's surrounded by Germans.
What the fuck? He did nothing to deserve this. Oh, those aren't Germans.
Aren't they?
Are they? Oh,
No, they are.
Yeah, they are. But now he swims to safety with a straw in his mouth. Yep. Go, David, go! Wow, he really didn't need a fucking lucky bear.
Seriously. Also didn't need those boxing lessons. That is not coming into play.
That has not come up as often as the Air Force thought it would in aerial combat.
Good thing I learned this roundhouse punch for this dogfight in the air.
Fucking David. It's the
Boxing!
best. Boxing! Fucking broken arm, one-armed, charging right into the entire German army to steal a plane.
Man, that fucking David.
Seriously. Oh, is he flying away? No. He's circling back to shoot some shit.
He's gonna take out all the other planes. Single-handedly.
Holy shit.
Because that's what David does.
His goddamn job. He doesn't even have any goggles on right now. He's just cursing. You son of a bitch! You fucking idiot!
Alright, David, the tactic of shouting to the other plane is clearly not working.
Sylvia doesn't love you! Oh, fuck.
He just shot his friend.
Jack, you idiot.
Jack, you pointless piece of crap. These French officers are the epitome of laissez-faire.
Yeah.
We're just hanging around, watching your friend die.
It's more like laissez-mourir.
We offer him no comfort whatsoever. Mm-hmm. We only bear witness to his slow decline.
At first we thought he was German, now he's American, who cares?
We are so confused, we cannot keep track of who is who. But we do recognize, Jacques, you are a garbage human.
Un homme garbage.
Oh, Jack, kiss me on the lips the way my mother would. And Sylvia never did. He never got a kiss from Sylvia.
That's true.
Oh,
there you go.
There you go.
He's going to start carrying a picture of Dave around his kids.
And of course, now he's going to proclaim his love for Mary.
Right. Now that...
Because he's a garbage human.
Yeah, he's going to, like, go to his backup school.
Yeah.
Never knowing that she, like, literally joined the war effort to be with him and saved him from certain bubble doom. Or at least syphilis.
Mary, you're my University of Phoenix.
Yeah. You're my Alcorn State. Hi, I'm the mayor. You can tell because I'm wearing a top hat and tails in the middle of the day. This isn't about you. Get out of her lap.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way... Oh, they know.
Yeah.
They know and they forgive him. Oh,
Why?
Fuck this world that they've created. Fuck you, Hope. And all the chances that you've given to Jack, who does not fucking deserve them.
Boo!
And a horrible kiss in multiple ways.
I hated it. Boo. I hated it. I mean, I didn't hate the movie, but I hated the plot of the movie. Which was everything we had feared it would be.
Yeah.
But
then we saw it was written by a woman. Still was that.
Well, no, it wasn't. Okay, so it was...
co-written by a woman.
Co-written by a woman, and it was less... There wasn't a lot of sexism in it.
No.
Right? Especially given the time period.
Yes. Definitely.
The main female lead actually goes off to war.
Yes.
The secondary female lead actually repeatedly sticks up for herself, although not with Jack, but with Dave. Right?
Yeah, I am so on the fence about this movie.
What? Alright.
Because there were some amazing things about it.
Definitely.
Impressive things about it. From a technical standpoint, impressive as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, all the war scenes and the dogfight scenes, yada, yada, yada.
I was not expecting a movie that looked this modern.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of... It's not looking super modern, but it certainly doesn't look 90 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hate so much about Jack right now.
Yeah.
And the fact that he basically wins at everything at the end. The only loss he suffers is the graying of the sides of his scalp. That's the only... Oh, and his best friend who he killed.
But he killed him, so... I mean, if the graying on the sides of his scalp, too, did suddenly happen sometime on the boat ride home.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't there at the end of the war.
How long was that fucking boat ride?
17 years, apparently.
Yeah.
Although Mary looks the same. So, what we've got is a classic... It's Top Gun. Classic Air Force movie.
Yeah.
Two buddies. They're not in the same plane. They're like, like squadron mates.
Yeah.
There's Dave, who's rich. And at the beginning of the movie, you're supposed to hate him. It seems like.
I don't know.
He's got a stern face and he's rich.
Yeah. We might just be jaded. I don't know that the movie was telling us to hate him. I think we were just jaded. We looked at him. Right. Oh, he's the richest guy in town.
Yep.
Yada, yada, yada. But I don't think the movie was telling us to hate him.
Okay, well then there's this weird moment in basic training where for some reason Jack starts off instantly hating David.
Yeah,
and
being a dick.
He does push-ups on his hat and shit.
Yes.
And then decides to pick like the most epic boxing match with David ever.
Right.
And then only after he kicks the shit out of David and David keeps coming back for more because David's a fucking champion.
Yeah.
Does he begrudgingly respect him and they become friends. So if Jack hated him and the movie said we're not supposed to hate him, then where did that come from? Was that just... Are we supposed to know that Jack is incompetent and a bad character from the beginning?
I don't know.
I'm really struggling with what the movie wanted us to root for here.
Because if you look at the things if you look at actions, Jack has been doing dick actions from the beginning of the movie.
He breaks a car.
Yes.
Like, he was not very competent at building a car.
He brushes off Clara Bow
Yes.
repeatedly. He swoops in, basically grabs Sylvia while she's on a picnic with David.
Yep.
And takes her away on a car.
And then steals her token of affection for David. For himself.
Well, he doesn't know. He assumes it's for him.
Because that's the kind of person he is.
Yeah.
So Jack's an asshole, but somehow
an asshole.
The movie is from his point of view. It's not like David begrudgingly accepts his asshole friend Jack. It's Jack begrudgingly accepting pure-hearted hero David.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand this movie at all. And then they fight and they fight and they fight in the war. Gary Cooper shows up and dies in practice, which is really anticlimactic.
Gary Cooper has one scene in a tent and then dies off camera.
He's set up as this like, oh wow, look at this like actual veteran expert pilot, and he doesn't even get to go to the war.
Yeah.
And then like they go to Paris after fighting and fighting. And in that fight, David does all the work. All Jack does... Is that the bomber fight before Paris? Yes.
Yes.
All Jack does is shoot some of the people in a bomber, even though the bomber's literally the biggest target in the sky.
Yes. It's a huge fucking plane.
Big, slow plane.
There were like... he took 5 passes at that thing.
David picking off fighters one by one.
Yeah.
Leading the world's foremost expert fighter pilot on a dog chase without a gun to the point where the German Baron actually waves at him in respect. Like, dude, you are an amazing pilot.
Yeah.
David just murdering people. They both get decorated. They go to Paris. Everybody gets drunk. That's fine. But David gets so drunk that he loses his mind. And Clara has showed up.
Oh, Jack. You mean Jack loses his mind.
Jack loses his mind.
He's seeing bubbles everywhere.
David gets moderately drunk and goes to bed like a good boy.
Yeah. Just so we know, at no point did he sober up. They just kept showing us hallucinations of bubbles.
Yes.
Over and over again.
Gets completely wasted. What's one small taste of fame goes to his head, essentially. And he gets completely wasted. He's macking on this French girl. Mary shows up. Clara Bow shows up and tries to get him, A, to go back to the front because he's been ordered to. He brushes her off. B, to just fucking turn around and recognize his girl next door from home. Yeah. And he brushes her off. She has to go cry in the bathroom and put on the sluttiest dress I've ever seen in a pre-1960 movie. Yeah. It's beautiful. I'm not being judgmental, but it is skimpy.
Yeah.
And then she goes out and has to like seduce his drunk ass just to get him to fucking pay attention to her. He has no idea who she is.
But she's sparkly now.
So
and this garbage human, you just need to dangle some keys in front of him to get his attention.
Room. Yeah. She drags him back to a hotel room, puts him to bed, because that's the only thing you can do with somebody that drunk, and then starts putting her uniform back on, gets caught topless, and gets fired from the army for helping Jack. Everything Jack touches turns to disaster.
Well, I don't fully... I don't know that they clearly state a reason why she's fired.
She's fired because they
she's
think
out of
she
uniform?
seduced... Yeah, she seduced him out of uniform. And, bad for morale or whatever. So she gets in trouble for his actions.
For fuck's sake.
And then, there's more fighting.
Lots more fighting. There was a lot of fighting after that.
He almost discovers that Sylvia's picture was for David. David tries to keep that truth from him because he knows Jack is an unstable asshole.
Yes. And David's a good person.
David's like an inhumanely good person.
David dies with such a Mother Teresa level of characteristic. It's crazy.
So Jack is mad at him for taking the picture away because all David's trying to do is protect him from the truth.
And he tears it up.
He flies off. And they go fly to the big battle, and while David is literally fighting every fighter pilot left in the German army by himself, Jack flies off to shoot at balloons. Literal motherfucking balloons. And then doesn't come back to help his friend, who gets shot down eventually after taking down 3 or 4 fighters.
So David's still trying to take care of Jack, but Jack the garbage human...
Yes.
With his huge fucking chip on his shoulder, the huge grudge of not being able to get the photo of the woman that he's trying to steal, that he's oblivious to the fact that he does not love him.
While he's brushing off the one woman who's had a crush on him forever, right? Yeah.
So he lets that grudge fester, and he leaves the battlefield early.
Yeah.
And leaves David to fend for himself.
So David gets shot down.
Yep.
Crashes. Gets out of his plane. The entire German army shoots him. He falls in a river. He drifts to a marsh field. He survives. He goes through the woods. He evades German armies. He smokes cigarettes that have been thrown on the ground. He's eaten nothing. His arm is fucking broken.
Yes.
He wends his way down the river, somehow stumbles upon an airfield, charges into it, while the Germans are standing there, steals a motherfucking plane right out from under their noses after punching out a mechanic. Flies up into the air. Does he fly away to safety? No, he turns around and attacks the airfield to take out 1 or 2 more jets. Because that's David. Yes. David's here to fight the fucking war. Meanwhile, Jack is pulling a Khaleesi and just flying around at essentially unarmed soldiers, shooting them in the back because he can't handle an actual dogfight. David comes back.
Yes.
After winning the war for America.
Yes.
While Jack keeps shooting down at the backs of people on the ground.
Yeah.
Jack spots him and thinks, finally, my chance to actually do what I was hired to do, which is shoot down other German airplanes. I'm going to shoot this one down. Mm-hmm. David's desperately trying to get his attention. Yo, it's me, David. He's yelling and screaming. Jack shoots him down. Cold blood.
Yeah.
Crashes into a goddamn church. Which, if that's not symbolism.
Right. Because we've already... And here's the thing. The gloriousness of all of this. Because basically everything up to that point shows how Jack just basically shoots people in the back.
Yes.
They're not... Because David's... clearly the plane that David's in, not shooting at him.
Oh, no.
He
couldn't. He has a broken arm. Yes. He can't shoot at anything.
But Jack is so used to just shooting at defenseless things at this point that why not shoot your best friend out of the sky as well?
So here's David. Somehow survives his second plane crash in 2 days. Lying in a church, all busted up. The French army is just standing around staring at him because that's what they do. And here comes Jack finally realizing what he's done. And he gets to go home.
Yep.
With stuff. Gets the parade. He gets married.
He gets the parade.
Yeah.
He gets the full forgiveness of David's parents.
He gets the war hero on the front page of the newspaper for that town, even though they're both from the fucking same town.
Yeah. It's fucking bullshit. Oh,
so
man.
Is this movie asking us to root for Jack? It can't be. But at the same time, I'm trying to imagine if they made this epic war movie that has all the sincerity in the world. It opens with a crawl saying this is dedicated to our brave fighter pilots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did they not know that Jack was an asshole? Did they make that and think, and let's make the main character the worst?
I don't know.
All right. Some stray thoughts.
Stray thoughts.
Stray thoughts. Number one, Wonder Woman. The part where Chris Pine is a spy and he almost gets caught. And he runs out of the poison lab and steals an airplane and then circles back and shoots the airplanes. Stolen totally from this movie. That was a David move. Good job. Whoever, what's her name? Good
spot, yeah.
I can't remember her name now who directed Wonder Woman, but she did her homework.
Patty Jenkins.
Patty Jenkins did her homework and stole one of the most affecting scenes from Wings. Like one of the most heroic scenes.
Yeah. So
that was cool. You got stray thoughts on this?
Oh my god. Keep going. I'm sure I will.
Two good dogs. There's a boxer that the rich people have. Very good dog. Yes. And then there's like a sheepdog looking thing that actually pulls a cart instead of a mule or a horse or an animal that's made for pulling carts.
Because fucking France.
Somewhere in the French countryside. That is a very good dog.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's all the dogs. There were lesbians in Paris.
Yes. Oh,
no,
yes.
Not like hinted at, not me reading into it. I rewound the film. There were lesbians in Paris.
Yes.
I love this movie.
Just thrown in casually into a group shot.
Casually thrown
why not?
Not just like a random group shot, but like an expensive, planned out tracking shot that they literally had to... It wasn't just extras in the background who snuck in. Like, that was choreographed lesbianism.
Yes.
So, wow.
A lot of war extras that were very lazy feeling.
Yes, very casual.
Just very... It was like watching a zombie film, the way they were just kind of walking into bullets and stuff. It was crazy.
Which was kind of affecting. I kind of liked the feeling that everybody was just zombieing around in that war. Mm-hmm. It seems, I don't know. Everything I've read about World War I is pretty awful. Maybe that's how it was. Maybe they were directed to be like that.
C'est la guerre.
C'est la guerre. There were only 3 movies nominated. Something by Howard Hughes called The Racket. Something called Seventh Heaven that hopefully was the inspiration for the television show. And this one. There weren't a lot of movies, I guess. I mean, they were making a ton of movies, but they, like, each category in the first Academy Awards only had, like, 2 or 3 nominees.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, an honor just to be nominated was really, true back then.
Oh, Jazz Singer was this year as well.
Yeah. So there's something recognizable.
Best adaptation. All right.
So Gloria Swanson was in there. This did not win anything but Best Picture, for whatever that's worth. It won Best Engineering Effects. That's about right. It's a special effects blockbuster that won Best Picture.
Yeah. It was definitely a big, epic film.
Also, to be technical here, it wasn't Best Picture. It was Outstanding Picture, and there was a Best Unique and Artistic Picture. So I don't know if I have to do this year twice, because I don't know which one they meant.
But Wings is the one that's always listed.
It is.
You look at the list of all the Best Pictures.
It is, but I don't know what Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans is. It's F.W. Murnau. They also had Best Directors for both comedy and drama. So
yeah, and that's interesting to me that they split that out.
Kind of Golden Globesy.
I don't know if I would recommend seeing this movie to anybody. It's interesting.
Yeah.
As a curiosity, but as an entertainment?
Nah.
No.
It's long.
It is long.
It's a long 2.5 hours.
They threw a lot at that screen.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need to see so much dogfighting. Or boxing.
Right.
Or what other sequences were really long? Or all those fucking bubbles.
The bubbles, yeah.
The fucking bubbles.
Man. This movie really, there is a tight 90-minute edit of it that you could make, and it would still be the same story.
And,
I mean, I get that the plane fight footage was like the Jurassic Park dinosaurs of its day. They needed to put a lot of it in.
Sure.
It is incredible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that kind of thing, that's what people go to the movies for.
Right.
I remember hearing, one of the... When they first showed off this technology, one of the things they showed was just a train coming.
Yes.
And people in the theater... screamed,
ducked. Yeah, mm-hmm.
And ducked and stuff because they couldn't wrap their brains around watching a movie yet.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I understand all that. But some of the other stuff, oh, man. Oh, just too much of it.
I would see this if you fast forward and just watch all the Clara Bow scenes. Because when Clara Bow's in the movie, honestly,
yeah,
it's very watchable. She's very good, and her character is interesting, and is a good she's a good actress.
Yeah.
So she elevates the movie.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's about it. It's too frustrating. Poor David.
Poor fucking David.
What's the message? Never mind. I'm over it. I don't want to talk about it. There's no message. There is no message. It's just the guy named Jack is always the hero, and no matter what he does, you root for him in the 1920s.
Yeah.
That's the message.
Yeah, the dreamers have automatic value, I guess. Because really, that's the only thing you know about him. He's a dreamer.
Well.
And,
yeah,
like, he has no actual redemptive scene in the whole movie.
No, he sits down and hears David's last words, but that just comes across as cruel and weird.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're rubbing in both Jack and the audience's face that Jack sucks.
Yeah.
To make him, like, hang out with his buddy one last time.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
No. Well, Asaf, thank you for, I don't know, going into the deep history of cinema.
In the trenches.
Yes, going into the trenches.
Literally. I mean, I'm going to go down such a rabbit hole now reading about this movie.
Right.
Trying to find any sorts of reviews.
Right.
Or movie theory about this fucking movie. Just so I need confirmation that Jack does not deserve anything.
Well, I think it's got blockbuster syndrome. Because, like, I remember when I watched Pearl Harbor.
Why did you do that to yourself?
I don't know.
There was no reason to do that.
I was, young and dumb. So that movie was another, like, wartime special effects extravaganza that had awful characters making awful decisions, and there was no reason to root for any of them.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is just an illness that cinema's had from the beginning, that when you're planning an epic, big-budget picture, you forget to pay attention to your main character's worthiness, character arc, value, point.
Yes.
Which in itself is, like, kind of forgivable, because if you're like, well, I'm just there to see the special effects, I don't care if, the main characters are kind of 2D, it makes it a lesser movie, but whatever. But when you have a secondary character who goes above and beyond and shines and clearly should have been the hero of the movie, it gets very weird.
I'll bet there's a bunch of shit on the cutting room floor of this that would have explained Jack as a character.
Oh, I bet not. I bet they just didn't write it. I think it's... This movie is season 8 of Game of Thrones. It looks great. It feels slow and boring, even though it's actually rushed. And the main characters...
they packed a whole war in here.
Yeah, and the main characters are baffling, and we don't know why they make the choices that they do. And the writers didn't know who the real hero was.
Yeah. And the person who wins at the end, it's questionable whether they deserved it.
There you go.
Jack is Bran.
Case... No, it's worse. Jack is Tyrion.
Okay.
Yeah. Jack is season 7 and 8 Tyrion. He's made all the wrong decisions. He's the cause of all the problems. He keeps fucking everything up, and in the end, he gets to make all the decisions and win.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And David is, well, Game of Thrones didn't have a David. I guess David is Arya. Actually saved everybody, did the things they were supposed to do, witnessed the horrors of war.
Yeah. David would clearly have killed the Night King.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Of course, while Jack would have been off, like... Well, maybe Jack's Jon Snow. I don't know. He's not that noble, though.
Bland.
Yeah. Bland and running around kind of doing nothing for 2 seasons.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I don't watch Game of Thrones at all.
Okay.
But even I understand this level of reference and how it applies to this movie.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Well, now the world has one more Game of Thrones take in it. I'm so glad. Asaf, do you have anything coming up that you want to plug?
No.
All right.
I got nothing.
That's
this is
okay.
all I've got right now.
You the listening audience at home have just enjoyed everything Asaf's got going on.
I guess I'll plug Out of Bounds.
That's true.
We're both producers of the Out of Bounds Comedy Festival.
That's right. Keep an eye out for the lineups very soon. We're going to be announcing them sometime soon.
Yeah, headliners will be announced July.
Yeah. And then you can get some tickets and come on down Labor Day weekend and
have a good old time with us.
Watch a shit ton of comedy.
Woohoo!
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Asaf, and I will see what we see next week. Actually, I do know what's coming next week. Do you want to know, audience? Do you want to know, Asaf?
Yes, I want to know.
Forrest fucking Gump.
Ooh.
Good night.